Well, thanks a lot. Really good to be here today. And honored to be the first speaker of the morning. I probably would prefer to go last because I usually get up a little later these days. But really great to be here. So I am the CEO and co-founder of Scribd. So we're a company located up in San Francisco that started about 4 years ago that is working on changing the way people read and also the way publishing works. I want to talk a little bit today about what the company's doing and how the world's changing, how the space is changing. But I thought it'd be interesting to talk a little bit about how I ended up in this position. Because I actually graduated from Gunn in 2002, which isn't that long ago. So I thought it would be a bit interesting to talk about how I went from graduating from Gunn to now talking about the future of reading, and then talk about how that idea unfolded. After Gunn, I went to college and just like most students was trying to figure out what I want to do with my life, trying to just did a bunch of different career paths and a bunch of different courses. And a few years in, I decided I wanted to start a company. And I was a little bit crazy at the time. Most of my friends thought it was a little bit silly to want to start a company when you can go get a normal job out of college. But I thought I would just try something. And the idea that I worked on was inspired by this conversation that I had with my dad. He's actually a neurosurgeon here at Stanford, and he had this medical paper he wanted to publish. And in medical publishing, it takes about 18 months to get a paper published. That's just how the system works. And my dad just wanted to take this paper and distribute it to his colleagues. So this inspired this idea that we could build a site that would allow academics to just take a PDF paper and put it on the internet and then share it with their colleagues. So I was working with a friend of mine from college on this project, and then we decided that we could make the idea much bigger. So we realized that we can use this for publishing all kinds of content, not just medical papers. And we wanted to be the place for publishing books and school papers and PowerPoints and all kinds of written content. And then from there we realized that we really wanted to build something that could help build an audience. So we really factored in something that would help build a readership for the things that people publish. And what we did was we launched this site that we called the YouTube for Documents back in 2007, just shortly after we finished college. And we had been struggling trying to get something off the site ground for about a year, but when we launched this site, it basically just took off overnight, and we became one of the top 1,500 websites on the internet by the second day. My phone number was on the website, and I started getting phone calls constantly from venture capitalists wanting to invest. And from there, we just kept growing the company. There was a little bit of a honeymoon phase while we had all this momentum and investors, but really we got back to the point where we had to just get back to building the company, and we built up a team, and we just kept improving the product and taking it in new directions and expanding it from YouTube for Documents into something much bigger. So we really worked on making the site more social. We added in feeds like you have on Facebook, and this feature called Readcasting lets you share what you want to read, and Facebook integration. And we switched over our whole technology platform to HTML5, and we also had to figure out how to build it into a real business. So we built in commerce functionality so you can actually sell content, and we offered premium accounts. Scribd's gotten to the point that it's really changing the world. There's a lot of interesting things happening on the site that are really changing the way that reading and publishing works. So we have a lot of authors who now use our site to sell their books directly. If they're having trouble getting a publisher, they just can upload their book to us and start selling it immediately. We've had some authors get published through this process. We're changing the nature of how a book works. Now authors, once they publish a book, it doesn't just just go out there and they can't change it. They can just update it in real time. So we have this one author named Campbell Scott who published a book on our site, and he just keeps updating it. And he wants to take place in the present tense. So as the cultural references change, he can just keep updating the book. It's just like a living book. We're also seeing books get promoted virally. We have some books that get uploaded, and the same way YouTube has viral videos and Twitter has news go viral, we've had books go viral overnight and get hundreds of thousands of readers within a few days. And we even had big publishing companies using the site. So Random House uses us to promote their books, and we have a lot of big Fortune 500 companies use us to publish content they wouldn't ordinarily be able to publish. So there's really a major shift happening in the world right now. I mean, Scribd, what we're doing right now is really just the beginning. I mean, this started out as something that was a way to publish medical papers, and then it grew into a bigger idea from there. And there's now this big shift happening in the world, and we would like to help lead this change going forward. So there's really three big trends happening in the world that Scribd is a part of. So the first one is that print media is all going digital. For hundreds or even thousands of years, people have been reading on paper, and that's going to start to disappear. I mean, it already is, and over the next few years, people are going to be reading on paper less and less, and they'll be reading on their digital devices. So all these big companies that produce print content, like books and magazines and newspapers and scientific papers, they're going to be looking to digitize all that content in the future. Also, mobile devices. I mean, everyone now has in their hands mobile devices. And in particular, people have tablets with large screens. And what's going to happen is reading activity is going to shift to these mobile devices. Pretty soon, you'll have your entire library of content and your textbooks and all the books you're reading all in one place on your device all the time. And another effect of having all of this content going digital and being with you anytime, any device is that reading is going to become a lot more social. What we want people to do on Scribd is to not just read, but to also share what they're reading, and to make that reading activity more public. And this could lead to people discovering things to read in new ways, people collaborating as they write things, people working together to create books, and there's just these major changes happening in the way in publishing and reading, and our goal is to help to help move these different changes forward. I really want to just sort of make the point here of how what's turning into a company that's really transforming user behavior and the way an industry works really started with just small iterative steps. It was just a few of us in an apartment launching a website, and now it's grown to this. And this is something that I think is going to happen more and more. People are going to be starting more and more companies as the world changes faster, and you can even do it when you're younger than ever before. We did this when we were around our senior year of college, but I'm a big believer that the next great company is going to be started by someone else really young, maybe even a high school student. The way you get started and the way you build something that's really changing the world is you start by just coming up with an idea, launching it, seeing what happens, and then iterating from there. That's really still how we innovate within the company. It just starts with coming up with a crazy idea and trying it. And you guys are in Palo Alto, which is just really the epicenter for doing this. I hope that some of you guys start some companies, and even if you aren't into technology, this applies to really any part of your life. If there's something you're interested in doing, just go for it, because what could just be a crazy idea at first could really easily evolve into something much bigger. So thanks a lot, guys, for